Hello children, today we are going to discuss chapter 2, that is acid, bases and salts. In this session of this chapter, we will discuss about salts. What are salts? When an acid reacts with base, that time water and salt will form. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. When HCl reacts with NaOH, that time water and NaCl will form. We can speak that these salts are ionic compounds which is formed from an acid-base reactions. There are different types of salts like potassium sulfate, sodium sulfate, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, copper sulfate, sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, sodium carbonate and ammonium chloride. These all are different types of salts. There are different type of uses of different types of salt. Ammonium chloride is used in torch batteries. Ammonium nitrate is used as a fertilizer. Calcium chloride used as a drying agent. Iron sulfate used in iron tablets. Magnesium sulfate used in medicines. Potassium nitrate used in gunpowder. Silver bromide used in photography. Sodium chloride used for making sodium hydroxide. And sodium stearate used for making different types of soap. Salts having the same positive or negative radicals are said to belong to a family. For example, NaCl and Na2SO4 belongs to the family of sodium salts. Similarly, NaCl and KCl belongs to the family of the chloride salt. Now we will discuss about the pH of salts. When strong acid reacts with strong base, that time salt will form. But the nature of this salt is neutral with pH value of 7. And when strong acid reacts with weak base, that time the nature of the salt is acidic with pH value less than 7. When strong base reacts with weak acid, that time the nature of the salt is basic with pH value more than 7. Chemical forms of common salt. The salt formed by a combination of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide solution is called sodium chloride. This is the salt that we used in kitchen. It is a neutral salt. Why it is neutral? Because in the case of sodium chloride, hydrochloric acid is a strong acid and sodium hydroxide is a strong base. So when strong acid reacts with strong base, that time the nature of the salt is neutral. So the sodium chloride is a neutral. Seawater contains many salts dissolved in it. Sodium chloride is separated from these salts. Deposits of solid salt are found in several parts of the world. These large crystals are often brown. Why? Because of impurities. This is called rock salt. Beds of rock salt were formed when seas of bygone ages dried up. Rock salt is mined like coal. Now we will discuss about the common salt. This common salt is a raw material for different types of chemicals. The common salt thus obtained is an important raw material for various materials in our daily life like sodium hydroxide, baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder, etc. Let's see how one substance is used for making all these different type of substances. First, we will discuss about sodium hydroxide. When electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of the sodium chloride that is known as brine, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. The process is called chlor-alkali process. Why? Because chlor means chlorine and alkali means sodium hydroxide. What is the reaction? NaCl plus H2O, that is NaOH, sodium hydroxide, Cl2 chlorine and H2 hydrogen gas will form. Chlorine gas is given off at anode and hydrogen gas is at cathode. Why? Because this chlorine has a negative charge, that's why it will collect on anode. And this hydrogen has a positive charge, that's why this hydrogen will collect on cathode. Sodium hydroxide solution is formed near the cathode. The three products produced in this process are all useful. Now we will discuss about bleaching powder. We have already know that chlorine is produced during electrolysis of aqueous sodium chloride, that is brine. This chlorine gas is used for the manufacturing of bleaching powder. Bleaching powder is produced by the action of chlorine on dry slaked lime, that is CaOH whole twice. Bleaching powder is represented as a CaOCl2, though the actual composition is quite complex. When CaOH whole twice reacts with chlorine, that time CaOCl2, which is known as bleaching powder, and water will form. What are the uses of bleaching powder? This is used for bleaching cotton and linen in the textile industry, for bleaching wood pulp in the paper factories, and for bleaching washed clothes in laundries. As an oxidizing agent, it is used in many chemical industries, and it is used as a disinfectant for drinking water to make it germ free. Now we will discuss about baking soda. The soda commonly used in the kitchen for making tasty and crispy things. Sometimes it is added to increase the rate of cooking and for faster cooking. The chemical name of this compound is sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is NaHCO3. It is the product of the sodium chloride. It is also the product of the sodium chloride. And sodium chloride is used for manufacturing of this baking soda. How? When NaCl reacts with water, carbon dioxide and ammonia, that time ammonium chloride will form. And with ammonium chloride, the sodium hydrogen carbonate will also form. It is a mild non-corrosive base. The following reaction takes place when it is heated during cooking. When we will heat the sodium hydrogen carbonate, that time sodium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide will form. What are the uses of this baking soda? It is used for making baking powder, which is a mixture of baking soda, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, and a mild edible acid such as citric acid. When baking powder is heated or mixed in water, following reaction takes place. NaHCO3 when reacts with the hydrogen ion, which is known as acid also, because this hydrogen ion is responsible for the acidic nature of acids. That time carbon dioxide, water and sodium salt of acid will form. Carbon dioxide produced during the reaction causes bread or cake to rise, making them soft and spongy. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is also an ingredient of antacids. Being alkaline, it is used to neutralize the excess acid in stomach and provide relief. It is also used in soda acid fire extinguishers. What is washing soda? This is another chemical that can be obtained from sodium chloride, and the formula is Na2CO3 into 10H2O. We have seen that sodium carbonate can be obtained by heating baking soda, and the recrystallization of sodium carbonate gives washing soda, and it is a basic salt. What is the reaction? When sodium carbonate reacts with the 10 molecules of water, That time Na2CO3 into 10H2O will form, which is washing soda. What are the uses of washing soda? Sodium carbonate, that is washing soda, is used in glass, soap, and paper industries. It is used in the manufacturing of sodium compounds like borax. Sodium carbonate can be used as a cleaning agent for domestic purposes, and it is used for removing permanent hardness of water. Now we will discuss about water of crystallization. Water of crystallization is the fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of salt. 5 water molecules are present in one formula unit of copper sulfate. And the chemical formula for hydrated copper sulfate is CuSO4 into 5H2O. That is known as copper sulfate pentahydrate. Now we are able to answer the question whether the molecule of Na2CO3 into 10H2O is wet. Na2CO3 into 10H2O. In this case, 10H2O is a water of crystallization. One other salt which possesses water of crystallization is gypsum. It has two water molecules as a water of crystallization, and the formula of gypsum is CaSO4 into twice H2O. Now we will discuss about the plaster of Paris. On heating gypsum at 373 Kelvin, it loses water molecules and becomes calcium sulfate hemihydrate. This is called plaster of Paris. The substance which doctors use as a plaster for supporting fractured bone in the right position. Plaster of Paris is a white powder, and on mixing with water it changes to gypsum, once again giving a hard solid mass. The reaction is CaSO4 into half H2O plus 1 and half H2O, then gypsum will form CaSO4 into twice H2O. It is written in this form because two formula units of CaSO4 share only one molecule of water. Plaster of Paris is used for making toys, materials, for decoration, and for making surface smooth. So, dear children, this is the description of the salts. Thank you.